What's going on, everybody? Today we're here at Prodigy Games. They held a case tournament for this wonderful set called Battles of Legends. They had a case tournament, and we have the local special. How you doing?
Hunter Lloyd, nice to meet you guys.
Once again, you're back. You finished what again?
Second place.
Nice. Well, with what deck?
Playing Mitsurugi Orcust.
Okay, with the new stuff.
Yeah, featuring a new theme out of Battles of Legends. The deck got a power upgrade. Really good cards.
Yeah, and the deck was already like seeing tops at the very later half of this format already. Any shout-outs before we go into the list?
So I want to shout out a few people. Everyone from Prodigy. I want to got Nikolai. I got Nicole, Willie. Over here I got our good friend, Mr. Cameraman himself.
Hey.
Sophia. Justin.
DuleoYGO. Link in the description down below. Sum it up.
So anyway, let's get right into the profile. So this deck actually plays a lot like Pure. So obviously you have the 4 main ones that you summon plus Futsu. So usually this deck has the same goal as Ryzeal and Pure, where these cards are a lot more of an engine to play through cards. However, these cards also get to the Orcust side of your deck, so it's very easy. If you have just this, it gets you to both counter traps as well as prayers with a full board with Futsu in the corner. So it just makes it really hard for your opponent to win. For the little names, I only play 1, and 1. You don't really ever want to see them or normal summon them, so that's like one of the things I like about this deck. Instead of Pure, you can cut back on these cards because these were cards were easily the worst ones to draw. So the fact that I get to play a little amount comparatively to these guys is really good. For the Orcust cards, all of the Orcust cards also go into the Mitsurugi cards. If you draw any one of these 5 specifically, if you draw any one of these 5, it makes King of the Feral Imps on summon 4. So then you can search Habakiri, so then Habakiri can do the full Mitsurugi side of your deck. And the Galatea link is just absolutely bonkers. Another cool thing is if, let's say you start Habakiri and they Ash it, you can go this guy, give your opponent a token to turn on Thrust, so that Thrust can search. So it's super relevant there, and he can also become Tuner, but that's not really relevant in this build. For the one-of names, I play 1 Nightmare, 1 Wand, 1 Skell, and then 1 World, 1 World Crown. The reason why I play these 4 specifically, I play this one just in case you only start with Mitsurugi cards. This is how you bridge into the Orcust side of your deck, because Little Galatea searches this to summon it out of your hand to make Galatea, and then the Little Galatea will summon itself back by banishing the Dingir so you make it. And then that'll set the counter trap. Another relevant thing, if you happen to open both sides of the engine on your opponent's turn, you're going to use this effect to summon this out of your hand with Little Galatea effect. It's just really good because this guy ends up being a negate for any extra deck monster, which is relevant against like Ryzeal or the Malice strategies. For non-engine, 3 Fua, 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and then 3 Bestials. These are all the monster non-engine I play. Because this is also a dark deck, I also do get to play Impulse as well as Droplet because I'm also a graveyard deck. I'm able to sack cards like it's not my problem. These 3 were terrible for me today. I think in the future either it would be Perulia or DD Crow. So you can think of that in the future. But all of these cards were amazing today. This card especially overperformed Droplet. Just insane card.
Yeah, I watched you discard like the counter traps and everything just so you can just get free value.
Literally, it was so crazy. Oh my gosh. The non-engine, the bricks for the Orcust deck are obviously the 2. These are the soft bricks that you have to play for the deck. They just take the scaling to the whole new level. Just because both of them, even if they're banished now, you can get both of them back with the new Link 4, which is super strong. And so now it makes both of the sides of the deck infinite, which is just super important. For other spell cards that I play, obviously I play Call By and Tactics, Broken Cards. For the Mitsurugi side of the deck, I play 1 Mirror. If I'm playing Mirror, obviously I'm playing Pre-Prep. You just want to play this deck like Pure. If they mulch harm you, you play around it. So if I get Perulian, I'm only summoning from deck. If I get Fua, then I'm only summoning from hand. So on and so forth. The idea is to play as consistently and conservatively as possible with that side of the deck, but you can soak in with more counter traps and more gas for fall. So, very good cards. 3 prayers, cards broken, 2 ritual spell, and this card. I decided not to play Magatama because I wanted the Omni Negate presence. I think in the future I might change the second ritual spell to a Magatama just because I like the options. And usually this card is just very versatile, and I also get to play Code Igniter in this version, so it's a lot easier for me to go through my cards.
Yeah, and it's also a dark, so you can play it around the dark lock.
Exactly. Going into the extra deck, this extra deck for pure has always been very easy to manipulate because it's always been just fluff for the Mitsurugi side. So a lot of this will just be extra deck cards for the Orcust strategy. This is the new Link 1. I only play 1 of it currently. I'm thinking about bumping it up to 2, but just because it completely keeps recurring itself, it usually means that I only ever have to really play 1. What she does, once per turn, you could discard any card to search for any World Legacy card or Orchestrated Babel from either the deck or the GY and add it to your hand. The reason why that's relevant is because the Orcust strategy really lacked a discard outlet, but also it gets to the World Crown as an extender, or it gets you the Field Spell. So you'll have Field Spell and Crescendo, which is super hard to have. She also has the secondary effect in the graveyard. Once per turn, she can banish any other Orcust card to special summon her back to the field, which with the Field Spell you can also do on your opponent's turn. I play 2 Galatea. Galatea as the old member of the strategy. She shuffles a Banished Machine back into your deck to set any Orcust spell or trap from your deck. All of these cards also happen to play around Droll and Lockbird except for the little Galatea, so it makes with the Mitsurugi cards, it makes a really good engine to play around cards that the deck already wants to. And the Mitsurugi cards offer an engine way to play around Lancia for the Orcust side. So it's just very good. They help each other through their weaknesses. So that's why I like these cards a lot. For other cards that I play 1 Long Girsu. His effect never really comes up, but the effect to protect himself from card effects sometimes does, and he's there as just a bridge, Link 3. The other new card that I play is the new Link 4.
Oh.
Yeah. So this guy is really good. He has 3 effects. You could target one of your banished Orcust or World Legacy cards, put that card back in your hand, and then you could shuffle any card back from your hand back into your deck to snatch steal one of your opponent's monsters permanently. Very strong, very strong. So on your turn, if you make him, you'll add back follow up, and then on your opponent's turn, you'll add back a card. Shuffle one of the dead Mitsurugi rituals that you add off, like Aramasa, for example, into your deck to statue one of their monsters, and then you'll use her effect, summoning her back, discarding World Wand to add the crown, and then the World Wand will summon out the crown in your hand for extra cards. He also has another thing. If he is sent from the extra, the turn he's sent from the extra monster zone to the graveyard, you could banish it from the graveyard to send a card on the board to the graveyard. It's usually relevant with IP. Some players will get confused though because of how it's worded, because it says during your main phase, because of how Orchestrated Babel works. That line of text is supposed to say this is a trigger effect, so you're able to activate it or ignition effect. I'm sorry. So you're always able to send off the turn. Other cards I play, obviously you play IP because it's one of the best Dark Link monsters in the game, right next to SP. I also play Dark because Dark. Other cards I play, the Mitsurugi cards bridge into the Orcust cards because you use 2 level 8s to make Dingirsu. You'll either be attaching or sending, depending on if you're going first or second, and then you'll be sacking off the Dingirsu to go into the new Link one. The new Link one will then search the World Crown, so on and so forth, and then you're playing your Orcust deck from there. The Orcust cards get into the Mitsurugi cards through King of the Fairlands. As I said, if you draw any of the 4s, all of the 4s go back into this guy, and then he'll search your Mitsurugi cards. I play Code Igniter just in case if I happen to get Ashed or Impulse on my ritual spell. And then I also play, the last 3 are just flex spots. I play E-Knight. I never summon E-Knight, but his theory is that he's supposed to get to 2 4s with Aramasa and whatever I summon off prayers to be able to make E-Knight to play through a board. That never came up, but that's the idea behind it. The final 2 cards I play Typhon and I play Zeus. So Zeus is actually very easy to summon in this deck, just because, as I said earlier, you'll have the 2 Mitsurugi 8s, you'll make Ding, send a card, you can battle phase attack into something, and then make Zeus. Very strong, very strong. Usually you'll be doing that against mostly something like Memento. Comes up a lot against Memento because they don't really want to respond to your Mitsurugi rituals. They want to really respond to the actual important part of your deck, which is against them the Orcust part, because then they said that's the one that starts making counter traps and stealing their cards. So being able to make Ding sending a card, and then they can't really do anything because all their interruptions are really destruction-esque effects. So then you'll be able to attack, and then you'll make Zeus, and then take the rest of the cards at once. Which this sends to not destroy, so it's really good against them. For the side deck, I play 3 Lancia, 3 Mind Control, 3 Encore, 2 Lightning Storm and a Duster, and then the final 3 cards are for Fuwa when I go first. I play Thrust for my Gearsu, as well as Erat and Deck Dev. So all of these cards are really good, basically because I'm able to go and give Gearsu, give them the token if they ash like Habakiri, and then I'll be able to search talents and look at their hand. Really strong, and then I'll be able to take like Nib out of their hand for free. So I might depend to put this card up to 3, but these cards were good. But usually people can't really beat the board just because your end board is like both of the counter traps. So usually your end board will be like this.
Yeah, just that alone, like, if you don't need prayers, like, just this alone is already threatening because this always coming back.
This is like your insurance policy against cards like Calling the Grave.
Yeah.
So, or Bystials. But this is usually the end board you make. Babble's over here in the corner. I forgot to put it over here. But this is the usual end board you make. In the graveyard, you'll have Dingirsu, Omno, as well as the 3 Mitsurugi level 4s. So then all of those cards will just generically get you more advantage while they play the game. And then the IP usually links into Link 4, and then he'll be able to stash steal a guy as well. So it ends up being like 12 interruptions with like 3 Omnis. So it's pretty strong for what it is.
Well, congrats, getting second place. The only losing to the first place Gemini deck, Gemini Fiendsmith deck. So
literally,
congrats, and check out our next event.